Before history was written, it was sung. One voice rose above the roar of the sea to give a wandering people their memory and their soul. This is Homer. He is the ghost at the feast of Western literature. We don't know where he was born, or even if he was one man, but his words built a civilization. In the 8th century BC, he was an oidos, a divine singer. He didn't read from a book, he carried tens of thousands of lines of poetry in his mind, weaving them fresh every night.
He created the Iliad and the Odyssey. These weren't just stories, they were the Bible of the Greeks, a manual on how to live, how to fight, and how to die with honor.
In the Iliad, he gave us the wrath of Achilles, and the tragedy of heroes who choose a short, glorious life over a long, forgotten one.
In the Odyssey, he gave us the man of many wiles.
The story of a soldier trying to find his way back to his soul after the horror of war.
Homer's world was one where the gods walked among men. He showed that while the gods pull the strings, it is the human heart, its grief, its pride, and its love that gives the story its meaning. For centuries, Greek children learned to read and write using his verses. To know Homer was to be civilized. He defined the arete, the excellence that every Greek aspired to achieve. He lived at the end of a long silence. Homer was the bridge that carried the legends of the Bronze Age into the light of the classical world. There is the Homeric question: was he a single blind bard from Chios, or a collective tradition of many singers? Regardless of the answer, the voice of the poems is singular, powerful, and eternal. When the Greeks finally rediscovered writing, the very first thing they committed to the page was Homer. They realized these songs were too precious to be left to the frailty of memory. Every novelist, every screenwriter, and every poet 3,000 years has been walking his footsteps. He invented the flashback, the epic simile, and the hero's journey.
He didn't shy away from the darkness. He showed us that even the greatest heroes weep, and that even the most bitter enemies can find a moment of shared humanity over a meal.
He turned a forgotten local war into a universal myth. Because of Homer, we still search for the walls of Troy and listen for the songs of the sirens. He was the educator of Greece. He taught a small, divided group of city-states that they were one people, bound together by a shared language and a shared heritage.
He lived in the dark so that he could see the light of legend. He was the man who turned history into poetry. Homer, the architect of legend. Subscribe to meet the men who brought his heroes to the stage, the tragedians.